Good morning. One more video here that we're going to be reading the fifth book of the Classics Illustrated collection. The first one was the Snow White, second one the Ugly Duckling, the third one Cinderella, the fourth one the Pied Piper. Now it's the Sleeping Beauty. So this is the cover. Okay. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and to comment down below. Let's go. Sleeping Beauty. There once lived a good king and gentleman queen who ruled a rich and happy land. Everywhere there was laughter and song among the people, but in the palace there was also a bit of sorrow. The king and queen were somewhat sad because they had no children. The people are our children, my dear. Yes, but I do so wish we had a real child of our own. Every year they traveled far to all the great shrines and holy places of the world to make their own vows and say their prayers, and at last their prayers were answered. A baby girl was born to them, tender as the dawn and bright as the day. She was the most beautiful baby in all the land. The day of the princess' christening will be a holiday. There will be feasting and dancing in every town and hamlet. I will invite all the good fairies that can be found to be her godmother. 7 good fairies came to the christening to give the king's daughter all the perfections a girl could have. As gifts for the 7 fairies, the king ordered 7 gold silverware cases meant for the feast after the christening. The feast had started and all were chatting merrily, when suddenly they were interrupted by an old fairy. "Why wasn't I invited?" "Dear fairy, I'm sorry. We searched the land for all the fairies. Perhaps you were traveling abroad. I will have a place set at once." The angry old fairy, who seated with the others, but it was too late to have a case of gold made for her. "Cheat me of my gift, will they? They'll pay for this." She means to harm the princess. It's time for the fairy godmothers to bestow their gifts upon the princess. I must hide so that I can be last to give my gift, then perhaps I can undo the old fairy's wicked work. Beauty's my gift. Your warm, kind smiles will light the countryside for miles. My gift is grace, a manner sweet. You will make happy all you meet. I give you wit to understand how to rule peacefully this land. For me, the art of dancing, no. I give to you a twinkling toe. You and the nightingale will sing as sweetly with the gift I bring. Music, the flute, the harp, the lyre. You will play all that you desire. As the old fairy drew near the baby princess, everyone became silent. I give you death. Before you are full grown, a spindle will go through your finger and you will die. This poor queen soon to her so terrible a curse. How weak, cruel, poor princess. Wait, I can undo some of the evil. I cannot change the curse entirely, but the prince will not die. Dear little princess, you will indeed pierce your hand with a spindle, but instead of dying, will fall into deep, deep sleep. You sleep for 100 years. 100 years? And at the end of that time, a king's soul shall come, wake you, and your life will begin again. Hoping to prevent the old fairy's curse from taking effect, the king ordered all the spindles in the land destroyed. The year passed, the princess grew to be as lovely as the good fairies promised. She could sing and dance and play sweet music. However, there were times when she was lonely. "I'm tired of studying and have no one to play with. I think I'll explore the castle. Here's a tower I never climbed before. I wonder what I will find." She opened a door at the top of the stairs and peeked in. She was surprised to see an old woman sitting at the spinning wheel. "What are you doing, good woman? And what is that strange wheel you work with?" "Why, I'm spinning, my pretty, spinning thread to make cloth. Have you never seen a wheel before? No, let me watch how it's done." "Oh, That looks like fun. Here, let me try. Almost as though it had come alive, the spindle pricked the princess's finger, and in an instant she fell to the floor. She's fainted. Someone come, quickly help. The people of the palace hurried to the princess' aid. They patted her face and rubbed her brow with water, but nothing seems to help. There's nothing we can do. It is the work of the fairies. She will sleep 100 years. The king sadly ordered that his daughter be put to bed in the most beautiful room of the palace, where no one will disturb her while the years passed. That evening, a dwarf in seven-league boots sped toward the fairy kingdom. He was soon before the good fairy, whose spell had saved the princess from the wicked fairy's curse of death. You ordered me to tell you when the spell had worked. I have come at once. Thank you, dwarf. Quickly, get my chariot. Fast as lightning, the fairy flew to the side of the sleeping beauty. You have done well, my king. Now I must complete the spell. When the princess awakens, she must not feel strange in the world, so I will see that she retains her court, just as it is today. All were touched by the fairy's magic spell. The maids of honor, the ladies in waiting, the gentlemen, the officer, the cooks, the undercooks, even the horse and the cat and the dogs, all were put to sleep. All except the king and queen, who had to stay awake to rule the kingdom. As the royal couple left to begin its rule from a palace in a nearby city, a strange thing happened in less than an hour. The home of the Sleeping Beauty was overgrown with a wild, tangled forest. The 100 years went by slowly. The king and queen passed away. Wars were fought. A new family came to the throne. When the new king soon grew up, his favorite sport was hunting. He would ride for miles through the forest chasing wild deer. One day, "What's that? A castle in this wild place?" The prince rode into the town and asked about the old palace. "Switches, sir, you would do well to stay away from the palace." "Oh, there? What do you know about that old castle? Who lives there?" "Young prince, it is better not to ask about the hidden castle. They say it is haunted by evil spirits." "I have heard weird tales about the castle. Surely they are not true. What do you know of it?" "My grandfather tells a story about the sleeping princess." "Then lead me to your grandfather at once. I must hear the story." "Yes, sir, follow me." As the prince listened to the old farmer, a strange feeling came over him. "And they say the 100 years have passed. Many have tried to break through these woods to reach the castle, but none has succeeded. Then I will go." "No, young sir. Those who have gone have never come back. Don't. You may be hurt." But the prince would not listen to the warning, and he quickly rode back to the forest. Leaving his horse, he approached and tangled the woods. "There is no way in. I have no axe. Yet I seem to be drawn toward this palace by some strange power." Suddenly, magically, a path appeared in tangled woods. "The trees have moved aside to let me pass. The woods have closed behind me. I cannot go back. Perhaps the farmer was right. It was foolish of me to come alone. Well, I am ready for what may come. I shall walk ahead." At last, the castle, but there seems to be no sign of life. As he entered the courtyard, "Wait, is this all this? What is this all this? What is all this? He's asleep." The story the old man told is true. The whole palace is asleep. The nobles of the court, they are just as they were 100 years ago. Then the prince entered the chamber of the Sleeping Beauty. At the moment the evil spell ended and the princess awoke. Is it you, my prince?" The prince was so happy when he saw the beautiful princess, he was speechless. "I have dreamed of you for all these years." By now the entire palace was awake, and since they had not eaten for 100 years, all the people were very, very hungry. "Order supper at once. Light the fires, put on the pots." Hours later, the prince and the princess were still talking. "Highness, supper is ready." "She's so pretty. My loyal people, have you rested well?" After supper, the prince and princess were married. They set out at once for the prince's palace. Why? Look, the woods have been cleared away. Somewhere in the land, the good fairy heard the news. They will. My work is done. And will they now live happily and after? They will. My work is done. The end. Okay, we just finished the story of The Sleeping Beauty. And now there is this small part. The Real Princess by Hans Christian Andersen. There was once a young prince who wanted very much to marry, but he didn't want to marry just anybody, so he set out on a long journey to find the right girl. I shall search the four corners of the earth until I find her. Be sure to keep warm, son. Don't get your feet wet, and be very careful what you eat. She must be a real princess. But how will I know if she's a real princess? Huh. Is it the same one? Wait. No. Okay, it's just a different story in the same book. It's called The Real Princess. Let's continue. First, he traveled north to the land of snow and ice. I am the princess, Sky High. You're very pretty, but I do not feel you are a real princess. Then he went south to the land of the sun. I am the princess, little one. You're cute as a kitten, but I don't think you're a real princess. Then to the land of the east, where the day begins. Do you like me? I am the princess Roly Poly. I like you very much, but I'm sure you are not a real princess. And last, the prince journeyed to the far-away land of the west. They call me Princess Sharp Nose, and I don't want to marry you or anyone else. Well, I'm very glad to hear that. I'm certain you're not a real princess. Sadly, the young prince returned to his home without a real princess to marry. That night, the royal family felt very, very sad and lonesome. I wish the rain would stop. No one will come to see us on a night like this. Just a minute, I hear someone knocking. Hurry, let's see who is there. I hope it's Count Lafun. He always makes me laugh. But the visitor at the gate was only a very wet young lady. Please, may I come in? Of course, come in, out of the rain. Who are you? I'm a princess. Not a real princess, certainly a real princess. She doesn't look exactly like one now, but nothing. How can this poor wet girl be a real princess? Indeed. We shall see if she is telling the truth. Come with me, you shall sleep here tonight. While the princess went to change her wet clothes, the queen and her maid prepared a bed for her. First, we'll put a single pea at the bottom, then 20 mattresses on top of it, and 20 quilts on top of them. The little princess was speechless with surprise when she saw where she was going to sleep that night. I hope you'll sleep well, my dear. Thank your majesty. Hours passed, but the poor princess didn't sleep a wink. Oh dear, oh dear. At midnight she was still awake. I shall be black and blue and all over. At dawn, I've never been so uncomfortable in my whole life. Later that morning, you don't look very rested, my dear. I didn't sleep a wink. There was something hard in my bed. It was about the size of a pea. I tossed and turned all night. She's a real princess. No one but a real princess could fill a pea under 20 mattresses and 20 quilts. Now, son, ask her to marry you. And so, after all his journey, the young prince found his real princess, right at home. Will you marry me? Of course, if you please give me a comfortable place to sleep. The end. Okay, we just finished the second story. Simple Simon. Simple Simon met a peaman. Going to the fair, says Simple Simon to the peaman. Let me taste your ware, says the peaman to Simple Simon. Show me first your penny, says Simple Simon to the peaman. Indeed, I have not any. He went to catch a dicky bird, and thought he could not fail, because he got a little salt to put upon his tail. He went to take a bird's nest, thus built upon above. A branch gave away, and Simon fell into a dirty slough. Simple Simon went fishing for to catch a whale. All the water he had got was in his mother pail. He went to ride a spotted cow that had a little calf. She threw him down upon the ground, which made the people laugh. Simple Simon went to look if plums grew on a thistle. He pricked his fingers very much, which made poor Simon whistle. He went for water in a sieve, but soon it all ran through. And now, poor simple Simon bids you all adieu. Okay, now is the last part of the animal. There are two kinds of camels. There are two kinds of camels. There are the Arabian camel, which has one hump, and the Bactrian camel, which has two humps. The humps of the camel are filled with cells like a honeycomb. These store the food and water he eats and drinks until he needs them. After a long journey, his lumps almost disappear until he fills them again with food and water. The camel is called the sheep of the desert. It is the only animal that can carry men over places where water cannot be found. Camels are perfectly suited to the desert. In a sandstorm, they can even close their nostrils to keep from suffocating. So useful are camels that they are even used by soldiers who fight in the desert. With their long, ungainly legs, camels can move very rapidly. Okay, we just finished the Sleeping Beauty story, and we have an extra story um, that was called The Real Princess. Thank you very much for listening until here. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and comment. Keep studying English. Bisous.